Welcome back to Bill's Retro Stuff. And today I'm going to take apart my Radio Shack external power supply. I used to use this to run CB radios or car radios. It's a 13 volt 2.5 amp with a reset. What it's doing, unfortunately, I think it has finally went bad. I don't know if it's the capacitors went bad or if there's something else, but we're going to take it apart. As you can tell, when I'll turn it on here and the power's on, but there's nothing. And when I can reset, that's fine, but I'll shut it off here for a minute, and this reset kind of sticks. We may end up replacing that with something else. As soon as I turn it on, pops the breaker. So without ado, let's take this thing apart and let's see what we can do with it. Let me get me some screwdrivers here so we can take apart at least the top part here. Let me get those out here. Let's see what we got going on in here. Come on. Technically, I should have probably already had all this stuff out. So what we're going to have to do, we'll go ahead and take the clips off, and we'll try it again. Make sure there was nothing else underneath there that was causing. There wasn't a short with this alligator clip. It's been on here forever. So let's reset that. Okay, and the reset sticks. So we'll have to. Okay, let's see if it does it now. Yeah, it don't even pop up LEDs. So let's take it apart, which means we're going to have to drill it out. So let's get the get my little drill out here and my little bits. Okay, let's go ahead and I got to drill those rivets out. When we get done, we'll put screws in it. So let's go ahead and drill those out slowly. You don't want to go down through and hit transformer. You just want to take basically the cap of the rivet off. There's one. Throw that away. Okay, here's two. Well, you gotta play games with the rivet. Well, once you spin around like that. You gotta be careful of going too far in there. Like I didn't really, but let's come around on this side. Let's get this rivet here out. And there's that one. Okay. And there's that one. I say easy peasy, should I say. Alright, let me clean all my desk off here a little bit. I don't want none of that aluminum there, so let me clean that off a bit. There we go. Alright, duck it right in the trash can. Now let's see if we can get the top off and let's see what we got in there. Let's lay this up over here. I don't need this right away. I'll lay this out of here. I know I'm talking to myself. So here we go. Let's see see if we can get this lid off, see what's in here and what's going on here. Or maybe not. Okay. One of these rivets still sticking. There it goes. There we go. Alright. Okay. What we have, let's see, it looks like we have a capacitor, of course. Should be some regulators in here, so let's, looks like we're going to be taking some more screws out. So I'm going to go ahead and drill these out, and I'll go ahead and take them out here in a little bit, but we'll go ahead and drill these screws out. It looks like in here we have a rectifier, and then we've probably got some regulated stuff over here, which either the regulator went bad or we've got a capacitor. So it looks like there's several capacitors. But we're going to open it up and then we're going to check the capacitors and everything else. So we're going to take this board out. So let me go ahead and at least get my soldering iron warmed up. And that will get that all going here. There we go. Alright, let's drill out these rivets here. Now on the main case we're going to use screws, but I think I'm going to re-rivet this. Let's take it apart. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's take this rivet here out. may have to get a little bigger drill. Bigger rivets than I would like. And they are pretty good size rivets. So what I'll have to do is get a bigger drill bit here. Get a bigger drill bit. I'll take care of that. Let me give her a bit bigger drill bit. I don't have a bigger drill bit in this one. I mean, I do have a bigger one. Might be a little. Nah, this one might be alright. Let's see what happens here. Basically, when you do this, you've got to get the heads off the big rivet head. All right, let's see if we can do that. You've got to kind of work the drill around because the rivet wants to. You want to shape because the rivet wants to run around the rabbit hole, I always say. It wants to spin. So we'll take the rivet off here. Okay, there we go. Let me get the rivet off out of my way. Alrighty, drill up here. And let's go ahead and come in and let's take all my aluminum shards and throw them down here in the trash can. There we go. Now let's take a look at this board in here and see what we got going on here. Alright, so looks like I'm going to have to unsolder at least this, so we'll unsolder that real quick. Alright. Come on. Okay, we'll take that. That's negative. Take the positive off over here. Let's flip this around a bit. Okay, took that off here. Let's see what we look like. See when we get it up far enough. It looks like we're having a little problem here, but I don't see why they did that. That was kind of silly for them to do that. But what we're going to do here, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to cut this where they just put a hole through the thing. And I'm just going to cut this a little smaller so that what I'll do here is I'll just twist this wire out. There we go, just like that. There we go. Now we can see what we got in here. It looks like we've got a few items. We've got a diode and we've got well, whatever. I'll have to look these up. I don't know what's in here. It looks like they've had a few things like this little transistor here has been cooked or something's been going on with it. So, but we'll at this point in time, let's go ahead and let's pull out the capacitors here. And what we'll do is I'll mark it so that we know which one's the negative. So the negative is on this side here, and we'll go ahead and we'll desolder the capacitor out of here, and we'll check it. I want to check the capacitor. We'll check all the capacitors just to make sure, and we'll probably end up replacing it. I would say this is probably for the LED. I would say kind of small, 16 volt or so. I don't know why they won't put 25 volt stuff. You know what I mean? Why they keep insisting on using small stuff. Like, you know, I know it's 12. 16 is bigger than 12. I understand that, but the problem is with I always figure they could at least put a little bit of bigger capacitor in there for us to check. And so right now this capacitor is I don't know if we can see it up there, 220 microfarads at 16 volts. So let's go up here and put it at 2000 here. And let's put, and that's awful funny, they've marked a positive. That's weird. Okay, so negative and positive. Let's see what she reads. And it's still a good capacitor. It's reading about 335 microfarads. So that's not a problem there. So I'll probably go ahead and replace it because I've got some other ones. We'll go ahead and replace that. So matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that now. So let me go over here and pull 225 microfarad at 16 volt. Something just a little bit more uppity, should I say. I wouldn't quite say uppity, but it's a little bit more. Well, I don't have anything that size. I have something bigger or smaller. So since we're going 25 volt, let's see what we got in a 35 volt. See if I got something a little bit. Yeah, I got something a little bit more bar. We'll put a 35 volter in there. You could put a bigger voltage in there, just not a bigger microfarad. And technically, I can't say you can't put a bigger microfarad in there because technically you might be able to, but you're going to have to do some math. So let me go ahead and put this in, and that will at least get that taken care of here. Alright, then we'll clean some stuff up here. I don't know if I'm in the frame or not. Let me pull everything over so at least I'm in the frame. Alright, we're going to put the capacitor back in here on the negative side and the positives on the opposite side. So what I do is I just shove it down in there and then I'll pull it. And then, of course, my solder's underneath the meter there, so and let's go ahead and solder this little 2 points here. And I didn't think the capacitor might be an issue. I figured it's going to be one of the transistors in here. I would have thought it would just been a basic 2N3055 regulator, but apparently not. So they've got two things going on in here. Output here is coming from the, let's see, from the rectifier back around, which we'll check the rectifier as well. AC line in versus the DC. It knocks her down. I'll be done. Alright, so we'll put a new capacitor there. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to desolder this capacitor out here. We'll check it too while we're at it. I don't have one of these. I would have to buy one in case, you know, something is wrong with it. But we'll take a look at it. Come on, solder there. Usually I'd use my new soldering tool. I've seen that from Jan Betta over there in Germany, I assume. So, alright, so we're at 4,400 or 4,700 microfarad at 25 volts. So let's go ahead and check it. Usually these don't go bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of slightly short it out here. I figured it didn't have a charge because it never took a charge. So let's pull a thing of wire up here. Let's see if that will hold our capacitor checker up. And let's see here. So we're going to have to put it to 2 million or 20 million. So let's see here. Positive on this side, negative on this side. 4.61 microfarads. So, but it's in this scale, so actually it's a 4.7. So it's a little lower, but it's still within tolerance. It's not shorted out. It's not really changing. Bounce between 1 and 2, but that's not a big deal. It really isn't. So I would say the capacitor's fine. Although it looked like it got a little ding there. I don't have one of these, so I'd have to find some. So before I go any further, let me go ahead and clean up the shrink tubing here. I'll do this off camera. There's no use recording that. So I've had this thing. It was my dad's originally. He bought probably in the late 70s, early 80s. So it's been around for a while. We're going to see if we can get this thing here to work. see if we can fix it. While I'm here, I'll go ahead and take my rag while I've got it all done. I'll go ahead and wipe some of the dust down in here now that I've got a lot of the stuff out. So we'll wipe. I'm not going to tear this completely apart because, quite frankly, I don't use it very often. The only reason I found that was bad because there's a video coming eventually. On my weekends, I work on redoing a camper, an older camper. I'm not going to put this capacitor in back quite yet. I'm going to go in now. We're going to find out what's going on here. So my thing is I've got to find out what these transistors are, and this one here looks like it's been pretty cooked. So let me pull these off here. I've got a regular Allen tool, but heck, I can use a little screwdriver for that goes, or channel locks where that goes. They're not moving or nothing, so may have to get the proper tools out. So what we can do is proper tools here. Let me see what size it will take. So let's see if this is the size here. I'd say it's probably, it's not that. So let's see here. Let's see if it is this one here. And that one there is a 3/16. So let's see if I got a. Let's see here. Well, that's my next one. Well, can't find half the stuff in here anymore. Let's try this one right here, number 6. Yeah, is it number 6? Yeah, number 6 will work. There we go. Makes life a little easier. We're going to take that all apart. I'm going to lay my parts over here on my way. And we'll go ahead and take these off here. Alrighty. It's got it insulated, so I'll pull this over here. Alrighty. We'll clean everything up. Right now I've got to see what these are. So I have to clean them up in order to see what they are, because I can't tell the writing on that one, on what that is. And I may not have them. We may have to get, this may be a continuation video, but we'll see. So we'll replace that. Let's see if we can clean this up. Clean that up. Alright. Clean it all up while I'm in here. There's a resistor. I'm curious on where the LED's running off of. So here's the LED, and it's running off of, let's see where that is running off of. It is running off, let's see where's my capacitor I just put in. Here's this, here's the capacitor. Right. Okay, it's just resisting it down, so it's not a big deal there. It's just resisting it down. It's not really doing anything else there. Alright, so now what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pull the lines off. And then I'm going to power it up to make sure that the transformer or the rectifier is not damaged. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we'll power it back up with it just running the way it is. One. This way we can work on the board minus the LED without any issues. Oh, that's the wrong one. Alright. I hope I'm still in frame there. Not quite in frame like I should be. And we'll leave the, let's see about unsoldering the LED while I'm thinking about it. So here's the LED here. There's one of them. Alright. Being a little bit difficult, but we'll get it here. Alright, let's take the LED off. Alright, there's our board. So now what I want to do now, believe it or not, it's still powered up. So let's go ahead and I'm going to reset the breaker again. We may end replacing this breaker because it's really hard to reset. So let's see now. See if it's now the rectifier or transformer. So here we go. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll measure the voltage We'll go ahead and take this out of our way. We're done with that for right this second. And let's pull the voltmeter out here so we can see what we got going on here. Let's see if we can see some voltages on here. Let's see what we have coming out. Should be, I would say, about 110 volt coming out. Alright, see here. Let's go DC. There we go. And let's see what we've got voltage wise. Alright. Let's go negative and positive. Let's see what we've got that way. Oh, sorry about that. It's it's coming out of the transformer. So about 16 volts. So it's definitely in here somewhere. Alright, so it does not run off the line. The line is coming off the switch in the transformer, and then the transformer steps down the voltage to 15 volts. So we're good there. So we do know now that if you look at the voltmeter that we have, well, I've got to get a good connection here. We have about 16 volts, 15.979695. So we're good there. So now we know it's now on this board here. So let's see what we have here. What we have, it might be shorted out. Alright, let's see what we might have that's shorted out. So I need to find out what these transistors are, and I'll see if I have any of these. These are Motorola's. That's a Motorola, and that's a Motorola. 3055K. That's probably the, I'm going to say that is the regulator. So let's take my transistor tester here, or my thing here. Let's find out. Let's see, I've got to find HF. Let's see, let's go diode. Let's go diode here. And let me select, because all these are basically a diode. So let's switch till we get to the diode. So let's run here to here, here to here, here to here. Now that might be its normal characteristics. It's open here. It's not open there. So I don't know about that. I don't have that transistor, so I'll have to order that. Now this one here is a 752 Motorola. I don't know what that is either. So of course I'm not a power supply expert, but we'll check and see. I don't think this is a diode here. Okay. I say that's probably shorted now. Or this might even be shorted, we'll see. So, alright. The best thing I can do is go ahead and replace these. So, I will go ahead and replace them and continue the video when I get the parts.